Hello everyone, as you know, I am Monica from IELTS 9 channel. Okay, so here I will be explaining you writing task 1 from this 7 January 2023. Okay, that is table. Okay, table chart that had come, and another 3-4 questions are also there, but in this video I will be telling you writing task 1 plus writing task 2 also. Two tasks we will be discussing, and not only I am not going to show only show that question. No, we will discuss how to analyze the table chart and how to attempt report writing. As you know, this is writing task 1. And what are the criteria for writing task 1? Let me clear you, let me revise your things. 150 minimum words you have to write. Okay, but how many words you have to write? At least 180 words, and 20 minutes. In fact, when you will be doing so many practices with writing task 1, definitely you can easily finish this writing task 1 in 15 or 16 minutes. Okay, so remaining 4 or 5 minutes you can use it for your writing task 2. Okay, now let's look at the question statement. The table below shows the number of mobile phones and personal computers per 1000 people in 2003 in 6 different countries. Okay, so let's read the table first and then we will analyze it. So here country, number of mobile holders and number of PC owners. Okay, per 1000 people. So here 6 countries they said: Luxembourg, Italy, Singapore, Germany, South Korea and China we have. Okay, so 6 countries. So you can see this and these are Asian countries, and this and this Luxembourg, Italy and Germany are European countries, you can see. And now analyze the table statement, what table is saying. Let's look at this. So what is the highest? So highest I can see this country Luxembourg, 872 mobile phones, and highest here 900, and least highest and least, maximum and minimum. Okay, so here this is China is at minimum number 35 and 88, and yes, of course Italy is following that Luxembourg after this ranked second number. Okay, so you can see yes, here second number, but not here in number of PC owners. This Singapore is second number. Okay, what I can see, you can see these 450. So another striking point is Germany and South Korea is having they were having same number of PC owners at around at 452 per 1000 people. Okay, so the data is calibrated into per 1000 people. Okay, now we have analyzed the things. Now let's look at the vocabulary first. So vocabulary, when it is increase, rise, go up, uplift, rocketed. So you need to just convert. So this I have converted into second verb or third verb, and you can just convert into second verb because we need second verbs in task 1. Dropped, declined, when it is when the graph and the percentage or something is getting down, then dropped or declined or decreased you can use. And these are the words you can use it for adjectives: gradually, slightly, sharply, dramatically, slowly, you can say. And these lines you can use it as can be seen in the table or diagram or chart, as is shown in the illustration, or as is shown in the table, as is presented in the table chart, according to table chart. So these words you can use it, and it is worth noticing that then you can continue the sentence. It is clear from the data, it is apparently seen that this sentence you can use it in overall second number of paragraph. Overall, after introduction, what we are going to use it, that there you can use it. Okay, now let's write introduction for this type of question. So the table below shows. So what we can write it, you can see my introduction, how the table presents and compares also you can write. So you can see the table presents and compare. So why I have written S and S here? Because table is 1. The table presents and compares the statistical data about the number of cell phones and computers per 1,000 people in 2003 in 6 different countries such as Luxembourg, Italy, Singapore, Germany, South Korea and China. So in year also I have written. So this is simply I have written introduction for this question statement. Or if you want, you can convert it into compound sentences. So somewhere you can use here you can use which shows which presents, the table which presents and compares. So I will just write it. So you can see the table which presents. Okay, so now you can see how I have improved this introduction from simple one, which I have written the table which presents and compares the statistical data about the number of cell phones and computers per 1,000 people in 2003 in 6 different countries. So how I have done my introduction, that's a good way. Okay, now come to the second paragraph, that is overall paragraph. Overall means overall what you can see, what you can write, what you can just tell about by overlooking the table chart. So what we have found already, we have discussed this country is at number 1, Luxembourg, in mobile owners and in computer owners. Italy is at number 2, but Singapore is at number 2 in PC computer owners. And another striking point, 452, they are sharing the same thing, and the least country is least number is 35 and 88, that is China. So but here in this overall paragraph we are not going to write any detail, like only overview point of view you can what you can write about by looking at the table, that is the line it will come, means highest and minimum and any other striking point you can write it in this paragraph. Overall, it can be clearly seen that the European country Luxembourg citizens used the most mobile phones and computer system. So you can use simple language also. Europe seen that Luxembourg country had the highest number of mobile owners and highest number of people using mobile phones and personal computers. This way also you can write. However, Chinese individuals had the least amount of computers and mobile phones. So that simple thing I have written highest and minimum. Okay, you can write the striking another striking point also in another sentence. Here in the same you can write. Okay, now come to the comparison kind of thing. Now here you can so how you are going to write the details, so I will also explain that thing. So in detail what you can write, so in detail you can write here in detail. Yes, definitely we will just take both the columns combinedly, but this is first, this is ranked number first, and then we can say Italy followed the same trend and ranked second number, and we will be giving these two things also. And then you can combine Singapore and Germany, or Singapore and but both are just sharing the same thing almost, or you can combine Germany and South Korea because same thing they are sharing. So in this way you can combine some information, and otherwise you can just write individual country but with comparison with different country. Okay, so let's start it. So how I have written, you can see, on comparing and analyzing the data, it is significant clear that Luxembourg, so if you don't want to write from here to here, that's also okay. So why I have written to become compound, so just in writing task 2 different sentence structures also required, that's why I have written this, that Luxembourg had the most cell phones and PC owners, which were numbered at 872 and 900 respectively. Okay, simple things I have written. On the opposite side, or on the opposite, China, which which had the, so while writing, definitely if you are doing this kind of thing, with pencil you can always erase, but I was writing with my sketch pen, that's why it had happened. So I'm so sorry about that. Which had the lowest ownership, only 35 mobile devices per 1,000 people, and other device at only 88 per 1,000 people. So here I have done repetition, so at least this should not be done. Mobile devices and other device, only at only per 88 per 1,000 people. So here also it will go, but this is a repetition for the same thing in one sentence. Okay. Here now, after Luxembourg, Italy, because first we had discussed maximum and then lowest, and if you want, then you can just write this line after this. Before explaining about China, you can write first number, second number, and then least number. Italy ranked second with 737 mobile gadgets and 480 computer machines per 1,000 persons. So you must be thinking why I am writing this and this, because it is these both the spellings it is given in question statement. I will show you. So in table you can see 1,000, and in question statement you can see this thing. That's why I am using different things for everyone. Now we have done body introduction, overall second paragraph, and then third paragraph, how we have discussed. You can see this. Okay, so we have discussed. Now let's move on to the another countries, and for the second last paragraph. Okay, you can see my screen. Even though, or however also you can use it, however, Singapore had almost the same kind of computer and phones owners, which was approximately 700 per people. Same kind of things you can see in Singapore, 684 and 690. So nothing, so there is not much difference. That's why we have written over here. So every time we are not supposed to write the same kind of sentence structure. Honors, which was approximately 700 per 1,000 people. Okay, now I have cut this. If we look at South Korea's detailed data, it was using 380 mobile phones and 450 PC in the year 2000, whereas Germany had shared an equal number of computer devices at 452 per 1,000 people. Okay, so this is the number 4 paragraph, and if you want, you can see this third paragraph, and this is my fourth paragraph. And if you think that something more should be added, then you can add it, but there should not be any extra information. I mean to say, not more than 180 or 190 or 200 words, so that will be a burden for IELTS reader. Okay, so it should be clear and precise data. Okay, now let's move on to the next question, that is my writing task 2 on 7th January. Now this is the writing task 2 question, and if you like, then now also you can like and subscribe my channel, but I would say at the end, please like it and subscribe it. First you learn something, then you do all these things. So these are stupid things actually. So but if you just ask me, for you it may be, but for me it values a lot. Okay, so now 7th January 2023 essay writing task 2. So as we can see, discuss both views and give your opinion essay is there. Yes, let's read the question statement. Some people say that protecting the environment is the government responsibility. Others believe that every individual should be responsible for it. So like I think in the month of December there was in the same, I think on the same date, there was another question that they were asking about. The international organization is that some people say that protecting environment is the international organization responsibility rather than individual responsibility. That kind of question was there. And this here you can see, protecting the environment is the government responsibility. Others believe that every individual should be responsible for it. So this is common kind of question, and there are many questions relating to government responsibility. Okay, so this essay commonly repeated itself because of government responsibility and other and individual. They only changed this topic. Only this topic they change it. Okay, so we have come to know protecting the environment is the main topic, but there are two sides. It is government responsibility, it is individual responsibility. So here we will be doing each and everything about questions. So how to plan and thing, we will be discussing everything. Okay, how to plan this essay. First, as we have done, we have analyzed, we have read the question statement 4-5 times. We have analyzed the question statement and decide which side. Yes, because here they have ask you give your opinion also. So yes, you have read, it is government responsibility, it is individual responsibility. So which side you will be going? So of course I will be saying it's both the sides are important. So joint efforts will be there. Not single effort will work for protecting the environment. So everywhere, whenever you are getting this kind of question, so you can do, you can write this kind of thing. Joint efforts should be there. Okay, individual person can't do anything. Government alone making rules and regulations can't do anything unless people will follow it. Okay, so so let's discuss which points we are going to discuss in this, about this government responsibility and about this. So what is the format? So let me revise your format. Okay, so what is the format? Okay, so first definitely you will write. So what is the format for this? First you will write introduction, then body paragraph 1, body 2 and in conclusion. So like these 4 paragraphs, as you know, we have to write it. Okay, so in introduction, what we are going to write? Now in introduction, as you know, we will be doing paraphrasing of the question statement and outline what you are going to discuss and your opinion. What do you say? Okay, and it's important to give opinion in introduction and conclusion also. Okay, so in body paragraph 1, so because they have given first government responsibility, that's why I'm going to discuss about government responsibility first with the example, and I'm going to discuss in body paragraph 2 individual responsibility, how an individual can protect the environment in different way. So in conclusion, definitely we are going to use the sentence structure although also. Okay, although sentence structure, or even though, you can start it the sentence structure, and please give your opinion in a broad way. Or here, if you don't want to give it in a broad way, then you can give another small paragraph, fourth number after body paragraph, for giving your opinion in 2-3 sentences. Or okay, or it's enough if you give your opinion here and here also, introduction. Okay, now let's plan the essay. So now government responsibility. First, they have asked you about, it is the government responsibility. So why government responsibility is there? Because they have power, authority, they can frame rules, they can make laws for protecting environment. Okay, and you can give any example, like in India, if you talk about my country, then definitely in India, when so you can give any other example. It all depends, not on India, you can give any other world example, you can give another country's example. So like I can give example of reserve forest. So when India had made a law for reserving the forest, so that was important. After that, India had saved so many percentage of forest area. And if somebody is doing wrong thing, somebody is cutting trees from that forest and all, definitely there are some laws for punishment and prison also. Okay, so that in that example, you can always, any example you can discuss it, what government can do to protect it. Okay, so I have given 2-3 examples two examples discussed in. Okay, now what about individuals can do? So in para 2, definitely I am going to discuss about individual responsibility. How? Why individuals should be responsible? Because they have asked you, protecting the environment is the government responsibilities. Others say every individual should be responsible. Why he should be responsible? Because this we should always think, environment is it is relating to human being, so that's our moral duty to save the environment, safeguard the environment. Okay, by making small changes in our lifestyle, such as by taking public transport instead of driving private owned vehicles, plant more trees, and not using plastic bags everywhere while going to market. You can use cloth fabric bags. So many things a person can do it. Okay, and here government, so one, this is almost, you can say it will come under one. So another point that I can say, second one is, government can make awareness campaign. So wherever the question is there like government responsibility, you can use this point, awareness campaigns. Okay, on social media, on TV channels and all. So this is common thing, you can use it everywhere, wherever the government kind of the question is there, use it. Okay, now let's look at my introduction, how I have written. So you can also use it like that, or you can write it in your style, but paraphrasing is important. And if you want to give general statement, like general sentence about the topic, protecting the environment and how environment is polluted nowadays because of human beings and all, you can write it in 1 or 2 sentences. And I have just started it initially, so let's read it. According to some environmentalist, I have not given to people and some other experts, because those who are just saying protecting the environment, so it means they are environmentalist, they are safe, they are always thinking about environment. So I have given this word for this. The nation's government is responsible for conserving the environment in our nation, in the nation, while others reckon that environmental issues and its protection are the major responsibilities of every person. Okay, so how I have given, so I have just added something, issues and its protection are the major responsibilities of every person. Is that here nation's government is responsible for conserving the environment in the nation. Okay, so now in my opinion, there should be the joint efforts of both individuals. So now I have cleared my point of view, my opinion. There should be the joint efforts of both individuals and state authority to protect the environment. So you can change the word, but I couldn't find the proper exact word. So that's why I have used this. Okay, to protect the environment. Now let's look at the first body paragraph. So why these cuttings are there? Because I was writing it from sketch pen. But if you will be writing, you doing practice with the pencil, definitely you can erase it. So on the one hand, you can always start, or to begin with, to commence with, anything, any connector you can use it. So I have written, because I have to write two things, two opposite things. No? That's why on the one hand I have started, it is undeniable that human beings are wholly responsible for environmental damage due to our selfishness and luxurious lifestyle. Okay, so that's a common thing you can see. For these reasons, means I have given these 2 points. For these reasons, we all should bear their significant responsibility, this responsibility to safeguard the environment. Okay, so side by side, when you are writing some body paragraph, side by side, please frame one story, like what are the reasons. So you can just frame it, and then you just write. First you speak about that reason and the things, then you just write it everything on the question paper. I'm telling you, if you just speak about the topic and its reasons and all, it will be easy for you. For these reasons, we all should bear this significant responsibility to safeguard the environment and not always depend upon the nation's environment guidance. Okay, not always. Guidance here means whatever the government will be saying, then people will follow, then citizens will follow. No, so you can take your own responsibility. We can bring small changes in our daily routine, like instead of taking our own private owned vehicles also. So these are good words, like collocation of words you must have heard. Private owned vehicles to offices. Sometimes we can commute through public transport. Okay, so these are kind of examples I am just explaining side by side. Secondly, we can teach others also about not to use plastic bags and suggest to plant more trees, especially in rainy seasons. Hence, these are some ways to protect our environment. If you want, you can explain this plastic point also, and plant trees also, so that we can get more oxygen. So this also you can elaborate in one more sentence about this plant, why trees should be there. Okay, so my answer was going long, that's why I have not explained it. Otherwise you can always explain it correctly. Whatever the point you are giving now, you should always give reasons. So, and I have finished, I have concluded this paragraph. Hence, there are some ways to protect our environment. So, it's important to conclude your paragraph with simple sentence. Okay, simple sentence is also important in your essay. Now, let's move on to the second body paragraph. See how I have started. On the other hand, the government has the higher authority, power, and finances. This is very important, to take bigger steps. And see, I have heard many students are just saying we have points, but how to start body paragraph? So this is simple thing you can start. So on the other hand, government has power and all, and finance. It can take bigger step. Therefore, comma, can play an important role in sharing this huge responsibility to safeguard the atmosphere in any nation. Okay, for bearing this duty, now we are explaining how government can share, how government can do something. For bearing this duty, government can frame strict regulations so that no one cannot violate it. So violate it if the higher authority has fixed, that there should not be any factory with harmful gases within the limits of nation, then no citizen should try to start any industry relating to it. Okay, so that if the government had decided not to start any setup with harmful gases, then definitely no one can do it. Okay, so another important thing, so another point now we have started, you can see, a government can do it. It can encourage, a government can do it. This is from here to here. It can encourage to green energy. It can encourage to green energy by promoting electric cars, non-renewable projects, and many others. Okay, it can encourage to use green energy by promoting electric cars, non-renewable projects, like solar and wind energy. Okay, solar and wind energy you can always write here, and many others. For instance, in India, Indian government is promoting what? Electric cars, e-vehicles on the large scale, and giving big discounts and exemptions on new car sales. Okay, so that's a good way how government is improving. So forest, that we had discussed in planning, you can also use that point. So when I was writing, so this point I found it very correct with this. That's why I have used this point. Therefore, every Indian citizen ought to support this campaign and at least buy these e-vehicles whenever they are purchasing their new vehicles. Okay, now this is end for my body paragraph number 2. So you can see my full paragraph. From here we had started second paragraph. On the other hand, the government has everything, power and authority and finances. Now this continuation of the second paragraph for government kind of thing. So whenever actually I'm writing the essay, so I can't stop myself actually. So this happens with me. Okay, so you can cut it any other point if you find it very long answer. Okay, so now let's move on to the in conclusion. Okay, so in conclusion what we have written, you can see. So always you can watch the video, but whenever you are doing practice, always write your own words. Try to write your own words, not to copy any connectors. So simple connectors definitely you have to use, but not to try any full line from any other essay. You just try to write on your own. That would be a better thing. To recapitulate or to conclude, this is true that without active participation of both the parties, individuals and government level, we cannot save our environment. Okay, therefore minor and major steps by each one should bear this responsibility. This is due to government has power, has government. This is why we can do it. This is due to government has the power to execute, and without our support, without citizens or national or individual support, it cannot be successful. That I have written my own point of view. Okay, so this is conclusion part, you can see.